Hi there, this is Tony from pianotone.ca. So I've reviewed quite a few digital pianos and keyboards by now, and a recurring topic, and one that does see some back and forth and some disagreements online, is whether a headphone output on a keyboard is an okay way to record audio from a digital piano, or to send an audio signal to external amplification like speakers or a PA. Now, there are those who will say absolutely not. You need to have a line level signal, headphone outputs can be much noisier, not as good quality, etc. And then there are professional gigging musicians, including some that I know out there, who say that headphone outs are fine and they use them all the time and it's not that big of a deal. Now, I am in no way remotely close to being a sound engineer, nor am I claiming to have a huge amount of knowledge in that area. But my firsthand experience reviewing pianos that have or don't have proper lineouts is that it would make sense to me that the lineouts should be a better quality signal, but that headphone outs are usually probably fine, at least for what I've been doing, making videos and recordings and that kind of thing. So that being said, I thought it was time to try an experiment of my own with my recently purchased Yamaha P-125. So what I did is I made 3 recordings with my P-125, and to record the audio I'm using a really cool iOS app I found called Voice Record Pro. More on that app at a later date. The first recording is using the stereo headphone out port, using a splitter cable that splits the stereo signal into left and right mono signals, and that connects to my Alesis Multimix mixer/audio interface, which then sends the digital signal, audio signal, to my iPad. The second recording is basically the same, except using the left and right mono line out ports to the Alesis interface instead of the headphone port. So the thinking is that the one with the line outs should be a better quality. Then I also made a third recording, which is something that I was super curious about. In some of their pianos and keyboards, Yamaha has started to include an audio interface built into the USB to device port. This is a massive feature, and you can actually find it in the Yamaha P-125 and even in some of the newer Yamaha entry-level keyboards like the PSR E373. This means that you can send an audio signal directly to your recording device without the need for an external audio interface. Idea here is that you should get a very high quality signal, since there are less cables and devices involved in the process to potentially degrade or affect the signal. Now, for all of these recordings, I'm using a song that is built into the P-125 because I didn't want to have my playing affect the comparison at all. I've been playing for over a year now, but I'm still working on having consistent dynamics, etc. So I didn't want that to affect the comparison. I also left the piano's outgoing volume the same on all 3 recordings, and I disabled any effects and EQ on my Alesis mixer so that wouldn't modify the signal. So here are the 3 recordings. First is the headphones, then the lineouts, and then the direct USB. And just an FYI that the headphones one is a little bit louder than the other 2, so be careful with your volume as the first video starts, especially if you're wearing headphones. So let's check them out. So what did you think? Again, I'm not an audio engineer, but my opinion on my recordings is that the headphone signal was noticeably louder and it sounded okay, but it did seem to have a bit of mild distortion here and there and possibly some noise and fuzziness around it. The line-out signal was extremely clean and clear, but it was a weaker signal, and for both this one and the headphone one, my mixer was close to the max volume. The USB signal to me was at least as clear or possibly even clearer than the line out, but with considerably more strength. So what's the takeaway here? Well, in my opinion, I think the best one is the direct USB, and the headphone one is probably the least quality. But to be honest, if I wasn't listening super carefully to the three different versions and was just listening to a recording of something out of the headphone port, I might not notice. But again, not an audio engineer. So I hope you enjoyed this comparison. I have some affiliate links below to the equipment I used in this video, as well as the new entry-level Yamaha PSR 373 that has an audio interface built in, just like my Yamaha P-125 does. So thanks a bunch and happy piano playing.